Hey friends, this is Eric the Mind Control Guy. I made a video not too long ago about getting ID'd when I went to the local Rural King to buy this stuff. Root killer. And I had to go buy some more again today because the first batch didn't do the job completely, so we got to go through that again. Anyway, I asked the lady if I could make a video, and she went and checked with management. Management said no, not a problem. I understand. Anyway, basically what I wanted to do was to go up there, take my products up there, or my merchandise, go and purchase it. And when they start asking me for my ID, I would like to ask, why do I need to show my ID to purchase things? I'm not a minor. I'm not buying alcohol. I'm not buying cigarettes. I'm not buying cigars. I'm not a minor. I'm over 50 years old, halfway to 60, in my 50s. Why do I need to show ID to buy this? Because there's a bunch of lowlifes out there that make crystal meth with this. One of the ingredients, along with battery acid, brake fluid, Drano, acetone, all kinds of other nasty chemicals. And she told me, of course, off camera, because I couldn't record anything, that yeah, if they see somebody coming in on a regular basis, it gets red flagged. If they buy too much, it gets red flagged. And I'm like, wow, isn't that something? But you got people out there making that kind of nasty stuff with it. Now, I could have everybody around me making that nasty stuff, but they're not going to get any business from me. I don't do that. I don't want to be associated with anybody doing that. You're going to put that kind of nasty crap in your body. I mean, all the nasty chemicals that go into making crystal meth and all those other things. But crystal meth apparently is the big one right now. Key ingredient, key message right here, killer. And this is just one of them. Now, if this is going to kill roots from trees, what do you think it's going to do to your innards? Acetone, Drano, battery acid, gasoline, brake fluid? I can't comprehend it. And I don't want to beat a dead horse, even though I've probably already beat the dead horse, but sometimes it's just hammering the message home. You know, the best way to put the meth dealers out of business, don't be doing that crap to begin with. But anyway, as far as all the crybabies out there going, I shouldn't have to show my ID to vote. Hey, we got to show our ID all the time for all kinds of things. You know, I had to go to the DMV today, or Bureau of Motor Vehicles, what they call it here in Indiana. I had to go to the BMV today to re-register my tags on one of my other trucks. I had to show my ID. I had no problem whipping out that ID. Now, if Dante Wright had got his tags taken care of, he never would have been pulled over by the police in the first place. Difference between people like me and people like him. I take care of business. He didn't take care of business. And we all know how that turned out. Anyway, I got to show ID to buy root killer. Because a bunch of lowlifes out here making crystal meth. One thing I don't have to show ID for is buying this. And if I did have to show ID, I would. That's the difference. When I got to show my ID for stuff, when your average person has to show our ID for stuff, no problem. But if you got something to hide, If you got a hidden agenda, you're all worried about showing your ID. Just like with the people involved in voter fraud. They don't want to show their ID. It may have shown up that they already voted somewhere else. And some of these people getting 3, 4, 5, 6 IDs. Just like those people in Chicago that work at the grocery stores I deliver to. Saying, and this is their words, they say, and these ghetto queens come in there, got 2 carts in this hand, 2 carts in this hand, pulling them down the aisle behind them, behind her back, loading up with all the good stuff. Prime rib, ribeye, tri-tip, lobster, all the good stuff. Going in and buying a couple $1,000s worth of food. And then whip out 4 or 5 different EBT cards that got $1,800 on each one. 4 or 5 EBT cards at $1,800 on each one under different names. Under different names. That's why these clowns don't want to show their ID. Because they might go, oh, who am I today? Who am I supposed to be impersonating today? 4 or 5 IDs. They got 4 or 5 different identifications. They're going by 4 or 5 different names, 4 or 5 different social security numbers. It's the crooked criminals like that is the reason things have changed so much in the country today. It's not because of people like me. And it's not because of many of you out there. It's all these crooked SOBs that are engaged in all kinds of criminal activity day in and day out, always trying to run some kind of a scam. Don't be pissed at me. Don't be pissed at the system. Don't be pissed at the police. Start being pissed at the scammers. Vent your anger to where it belongs, at the criminals who are giving law enforcement and lawmakers every reason they need to create more laws. Anyway, I gotta go. My day off. I had to vent again. Take care.